Lord, call us, text us, Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM, the Wake Up Guyana Show.
Let December 2020 be one to remember. Drive away with an Axio car from Predo Baby with 4 different options to win. Follow us on Facebook at Predo Baby South America. Predo Baby diaper is known for its premium quality and high absorbency level. It keeps your baby dry and comfortable with its stretchy waistband. Available in regular paste and pull-up pants style from newborn to stage 7. See press for details or contact us on 233-2473. Predo Baby, the diaper of the new generation.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Wake Up Guyana Show here on Kaieteur Radio. Very wet day today. It's also elections day, day 2 of the elections for the U.S. Citizens there. And let me tell you, it's heating up as was largely expected to be the modern grandmother of all elections for the United States there. Trump versus Biden. As we speak right now, it's down to a number of U.S. states. We will continue, and it's not going to be over as expected by today. Should have a clear idea as to what is going to happen before the end of the day. I don't think it's going to be over based on the news that is coming out from the U.S., but it's coming to be down to the final wire or the final rope there for the United States of America. A couple of states that are going to be determining who is going to be the next president, whether it's incumbent Donald Trump or Joe Biden. So we will keep you posted with regards to that. And if you, of course, if you want to make your comments, we could do so during the show here today. It is November the 4th, 2020, and it is a very wet day. This morning I heard some thunder, and the lightning was fierce through several parts of the country in darkness around 5 o'clock or so. After that, the rains, several parts of the city would have been flooded. Have the authorities out there, and they're busy trying to see what they could do. But several parts of the city, their online school, not necessarily there as we speak. A lot of kids could not do anything today because of the power outage and so on. My kids slept in a little late because there was absolutely nothing they could have done. There was no power, there wasn't anything. It's one of the things that we would see when we come to being online, having online classes, dependent on power, dependent on the internet and so on and so forth. So today also, my sidekick isn't back again, Sarah Hannah. Whatever it is that you're doing today, my dear, I hope that you are doing it all right and that you keep it safe. She says that she's going to be back more than likely tomorrow. A couple of things we're just experimenting with her there. So I want to say, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you here in the studio yesterday. In the meantime, we are going to be headed straight. I did have a number of persons scheduled to come on today. One was the Inspector General of Health. He's somewhere in Latam there, and apparently there's no connection that we could have gotten him on to. We will continue to try to get him. And of course, I'm busy talking right now to the Ministry of Finance to have their officials on board. A couple of things that's happening today. So today is all wrong. It started off on the wrong foot with the rains, then with the blackouts, and then, of course, everybody got busy dealing with the floods in the city. These are the officials of Guyana that we're talking about, of course. But we have our business here to do on the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. We coming to you live from our studio here on Saffron Street, Charleston, and we are beaming to you live on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 if you're in Esquimalt or Demerara. In Berbice, you could catch us on 99.5. And of course, we also coming to you live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Let's keep the conversation alive. Let's talk about flooding. Let's talk about the U.S. elections. Let's talk about what else is bothering you. This morning, I did receive a call before I head into the newspaper and before it slips us. This morning I did receive a call about a gentleman who is working with a gold miner, and he says it is a habit in the gold mining industry that a lot of these fly-by-night operations would take on workers, and it's a hit and a miss thing. And if they hit, they pay you. If they don't hit, well, they have you running around for your money, and it's such a thing. And so this gentleman asked me to raise this issue here. I asked him to please get down to the Ministry of Labor. He was telling us about how his boss would operate in the hinterlands. He told me a couple of things, and I told him that it's not something that I subscribe to, any illegalities or anything. So I did advise him to get to the Ministry of Labor and ensure that he raises the issues there. So we head straight into the front page of our Kaieteur newspaper today, the Guyana's largest selling daily. I want to open those lines very shortly so we can continue having our conversation. Yesterday it was a very good day, felt very warm. It's a very cold day in the studio today. The boys in the studio said they're feeling cold. I tell them, please put on the AC, I'm feeling hot. But I'm deliberately doing that. You have to keep them on the toes, and let's see how he is going to not fall asleep in such a very cool atmosphere here. Guyana's largest selling daily, Kaieteur News, and this is what the headline says. $3 million reward offered by police. It's an admission of failure in solving the murder of the Henry boys, attorney, and this is Nigel Hughes, same lawyer would have gone to the court over the 33, what is majority. And he's representing the family of the boys, the cousins from West Berbice here, brutally murdered, and it sparked weeks of protests, almost a week of protests, and then some other incidental ones on the West Berbice Road. They blocked off, damage to the road, and so on. Guyana, the authorities were forced to call in overseas experts, regional experts, investigators to handle the case. DNA evidence was gathered and sent overseas. It came back and it could point to no one of the suspects that were held or questioned. So we're back to square one. The police has put out, I think it is a reward. And the reward, it's, I think, $3 million. They're offering to any person who could provide information. So that's the situation. And the attorney, Nigel Hughes, who's representing the family, says it's an admission of failure in solving the murder, or the murders of the Henry boys. Main headline here, Kaieteur. Guyana has very narrow window to get right what other countries struggled with for decades. The IDB is warning that now. Says if you want to get it right, we have a very, very small opportunity there. And what we should do, capitalize on it right away and let us see if we can get it. This whole issue here about oil and gas, it has to do with let us have the will to ensure that we get a better deal. Can we get it? Yes, of course we can get it. Anything is possible. I think that is where we're at right now, and it's also pointed out some of the weaknesses in our arrangements. When you would have looked at other countries, it took years before they finally caught on to what some of the oil companies are doing. In the case of Guyana, we're just a couple of months into production, so these issues are being raised right here, right now, and it is a good thing, according to experts around the world, that we are actually being aware very early o'clock, thanks to some very enterprising journalists and even a newspaper like Kaieteur News, who are raising the hard questions and who are standing very much alone in this fight. I think slowly every day people are really coming to grips with the fact that yes, we could live a very good life, or at least a comfortable life, that could see some good proceeds coming from this oil industry. We just need to get our ducks all lined up in a row. Husband and wife burnt to death, fire set by husband, and this is in the Eccles housing scheme. Sad case, very sad case here. What you have here is a husband said to be a barber in the Grove Diamond area there, very well known, very popular. His wife also has a salon and a stationery operations there right in Diamond. Somehow they built a house and they were supposed to move in this weekend. The Eccles new houses came there. What would have happened? Sometime in the course of yesterday, last evening, there was some arguments. Neighbors heard. They don't know them because they're new people to the block. And then afterwards, they heard some song of gunshots, or so people weren't very clear. Then the house was on fire. Firefighters afterwards found the two of them. The man lying over the woman. It seems as if he's holding her down or something. Could be that, we don't know, but investigations are continuing. There seems to be a lot of suggestions here what went wrong, but it's always very sad when we have people, the prime of the life, they have everything before them. We don't know what is the story here. There's 3 and 4 sides to every story, like I always say, and as it comes out. But the sad thing about it is if they indeed have kids, these kids are going to be left with the trauma of that, and maybe to depend on others. When we do things, there's always that repercussion there. So whether we like it or not, and however harsh it may sound, these are the realities. Many kids out there, hundreds, thousands of kids, who because of parents not paying attention, or because of something trauma that would have happened to the family. A couple of years back, I think there was a major pirate attack on a set of pirates. I think about 15 to 20 of them that was killed in Suriname waters. If you start multiplying that, it has a ripple effect, because when you see, it's not only the children, it could be the parents, it's always the loved ones, everybody who's dependent on these fishermen to make a living. So it has multiple ripple effects when family die suddenly, and of course any family period when they would have died, any family member, it would leave a mark, a big glaring missing part of that family's structure. So COVID-19 hospital to become operational in a week's time. Good news. I kind of like this. We fast running out of beds when it comes to COVID-19. We are more than 4,000 cases, confirmed cases. We almost about, 128, 130 cases when it comes to number of deaths. And that is the per capita. This is very, very high compared to the rest of the region and so on. Brazil is also thing, but right about now, the United States is seeing a resurgence in the cases, a number of cases. I think Britain, as we speak, the United Kingdom, England, they were, or if they have not completed it, were supposed to have a vote in its parliament about further lockdowns in that country. So all over the world, we've seen that we're grappling here as the cold weather kicks in for the Christmas season. I'm not sure whether I should even be talking about Christmas, but it is what it is, like I always say. We should keep ourselves very positive, but England is grappling with that. So is France and so many other places. They are dealing with a resurgence in the numbers. Again, have to be very, very careful. Like I said yesterday, I was at a funeral, a COVID-19 funeral. Of course, taking the necessary precautions. Very close family. A friend of ours, a relative to my brother, in fact. And when I was there, I like I said, see the fragility of life, and you leave loved ones behind, and see family clinging to each other there because it's the last time, and then you're standing in front of television watching that remains of that person being placed into an oven to be cremated. It's not an easy thing. I'm not a relative to that person, but I felt the pain. And I think if it was somebody very close to me, I could understand the frustration that it would have been in my head seeing something like that. In the U.S., I think Glenn was telling me yesterday, my publisher, he says in the U.S. many parts of it, when you die of COVID-19, that you don't have many families would only be seeing their loved ones saying goodbye on a video, thanks to a doctor. The last person to see them would be doctors and nurses, frontline workers, and it's so heartbreaking. You don't ever get to see the bodies. After that, they pick it up and they take it elsewhere to be cremated or buried or something. And so these are cases where when we look at it, you realize We have to start doing things differently. It's a very short life. Let's make it count. Let's make this country really, really soar to another level very, very quickly. And we could do that if we have the will. We can't just demand or depend on others. When you believe your situation is bad, when you believe that your situation is bad, it's really somebody else out there who's going to tell you that they have it really, really tougher than you would ever even imagine. Many people are very much ashamed to talk about some of the things. And by the way, a lady called yesterday with regard to some of the hardship that she was going through. She did call me, and then not thinking the number that she gave to me wasn't ringing back. If you could do that after work again this afternoon, ma'am, I'd be more than happy to take that call and return the call to you. I did promise, but the number that you gave wasn't the right number. I did call it back. It was turned off, so we need to relook at that. Please do that after the show. In the meantime, we continue with our headlines here on Kaieteur. Bandits beat rob pension of his cash and food stuff, and I need to read the story because it underscores some level of desperation among our people. Two bandits armed with a wood on Saturday attack and beat a pensioner before robbing him of cash and rations. And here, this is the part that I was told that really had me sit up and take notice. Currently recovering from injuries sustained to his hands and thighs is Thomas D'Souza, 66. He was robbed around 2200s at a baseball field located in Ornock, Port Kaituma. The man was headed home with his 18-year-old son. When the robbers approached them, investigators reported that they were walking through the ball field when one of the bandits approached them with a wood. They told the pensioner's son to start running, and then they beat the old man, the senior citizen there with the wood, and they searched his pocket. They took $8,000, and they snatched a bag which contained $15,000 worth in dry goods. We robbing our pensioners right now, so these things are something that we have to pay attention. Billions of dollars for free. We place something simple before you, our fellow citizens. This is the front page comment in Kaieteur newspaper today. If Vice President Jack Deo owns a piece of mining land and doesn't have the money, the experience and expertise to mine the land for gold, do you think he will make an arrangement with somebody who has no cash, no experience, no expertise in the gold field to enter into his mining concession? Certainly not. Well, citizens, that's what's taking place before your eyes in relation to the Kaieteur and Kanji oil block. Donald Ramatar and Robert Prasad handed out the oil blocks virtually for free to Duki and four others who have no cash, no expertise, and no experience in the oil production. These blocks are worth billions of dollars. They then authorize them to sell the blocks and keep the cash. Citizens, this is what is taking place with your oil wealth. Where are your voices? And this is another story here. Pay attention to this. School dropout remanded for Legrand's murder, and this is somebody, I think it's a teenager, caught all the way in Berbice. Robbed and killed this lady here in the Old Road, Lagrange, just not too far away from the Lagrange police station, a big police station there, and he would have fled. And so when you see things like this, it gets you very, very upset as to what is happening. Somebody wrote a letter here today complaining about the situation in Maruka. Maruka is Region 1. It's a small community. And it said, because of the absence of newspapers, because of the absence of media, because of the absence of internet in that area, and listen to me carefully, the absence of communication in an area, what happens? They had a spike in the numbers, and every day you have a couple of people dying there. It's a hot spot area, and guess what? People are walking around without masks because they have not been educated enough. And this, the writer is blaming. Sahadiot Bates, I think it is blaming on the absence of communications, proper communications, like either absence of newspaper to educate them, or maybe proper access to internet. So people are not very clear, not aware of how dangerous this COVID-19 is. So that's a situation that is happening in some of our communities. We say that this COVID-19, this pandemic, it's happening in Georgetown. It can't happen here. Even if it happened here, I'm going to stay far away, so there's no need to rewear or think they drop the cards, and then things happen, and then we see what has happened there. Region 1, Region 4, biggest regions within Guyana that you would see fast rising number of cases there. Businessman gets 6.5 years for killing driver, wounded passenger who turned on bridge. There's a serious situation here. The businessman would have opened fire. The man turned on his bridge, and he probably didn't like it, and so they put some bullets into the man there before the court got 6 years for it. Of course, Kaieteur News too, as always, it's not above criticizing itself. Here's Freddy Kisoon now. Kaieteur News editorial of Sunday, November the 1 was psychotic. I think that editorial has to do or had to do with criticisms of the diplomats in Guyana as to where the voice is now. And here's a good story to you too. 75,000 all locally sewn masks delivered to the Human Services Ministry. You know, I've spoken to Vindhya Prasad as a minister, Dr. Vindhya Prasad as a Minister of Human Services, and she seems to be coming up with these ideas, some far out ideas and so on. The cost of protective materials, clothing and so on, masks and so on. It's a big cost in the fight against the pandemic. And here is it that she says to our locals, I'd have to check the quality and see whether they have met. It's not just something that you wear for fashion purposes. It has to be very effective. And so what she did is demand some money from the government for her ministry, from the education department, as well as from the Ministry of Health, and says, I want some money so I could pay some local seamstress and tailors and so to produce masks. Guess what? They were delivered 75,000. So that money goes into the pocket of our locals. They'd probably be employing a couple of people. That's the kind of things that we need to talk about, that we need to think out of the box. Of course, you have to make sure that those masks meet the necessary test that it could protect really. And there's another one that's good here. Almost 100 weed and cleaning contracts awarded, 75% awarded to small contractors, Ministry of Public Works. So, you know, all these big contracts, we used to give it out to 1-2 people who happen to be friends. Well, they're giving it, they're calling all a couple of people, about 100 of them. And so we're giving it to you. Get a couple of weeding machines here, and you need to clean a couple of places, schools, etc. And that is good. You share the money around. Somebody is thinking. The Food and Drugs Administration, the Food and Drugs Authority, the regulators, they're warning that anytime that you have any brewed products in Guyana, it must include the name and the address of local importers. They're very strict about that. Region 8 bridge collapses at Tiger Creek Bridge. You could see that it's overweight. A BK truck was on the bridge and it collapsed. Fortunately, I'm glad that it didn't go further than that. Opposition demands Parliament release tourism minister's U.S. renunciation certificate within 24 hours or face legal action. I understand that she gave it up. This is the tourism minister, Onij Waldron. And but the timing of when she gave it up, was she sworn in before or so? The opposition is saying that she's sitting there illegally as a minister. Let's see where this case goes. So that is, in essence, the big stories in your favorite newspaper, in the largest selling newspaper here in Guyana, Kaieteur newspaper today. It's November the 4th, and you must realize, guess what? It has been 3 months, just over 3 months. Nobody's paying attention. It is September, October, November. 3 months since Irfan Ali would have entered office. Has he done well as a president? I think he's got the ministers very, very busy. They are trying with a number of things in the pandemic world that Guyana is in right now. Has he been done well? Has he been doing enough? Has he got his ministers to be doing enough? Are the policies good that he's adopted? They've managed to pass an emergency budget for the year to get us through this couple months. They've started issuing some contracts. some money is starting to flow. The tongue is starting to open. The airport is open somewhat. They're reporting that almost 3,000 persons would have crossed the airport thresholds there into Guyana, whether to do business or whether to come back or something. And not one of them would have tested positive for COVID-19. Somebody did point out that there's still a window, there's still a possibility that somebody could come into the country, because after between the point of testing, if you're within 3 days and 72 hours, the point of testing to when you come onto the plane, there's a possibility you could catch it there. So there's always that possibility that exists. And we hear you, what you're saying. So it is almost 1:30 now. I think we are going to be headed into a break in a very short while. What do we have for you here today? It is time for insurance. And if you want to buy insurance, somebody was talking to me yesterday on the telephone. I think it was late last evening. And before... You know what? Let us tell you about the CARICOM insurance, and I want to come back and talk about that, and then we open our lines. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Ornock Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. So I think we take a break. No, well, we continue right now. Let me tell you, it is very, very important that citizens, wherever you are, and this is especially more so to the younger folks, if you're working, and yes, you can make a lot of money on the one side by doing side jobs and whatever else it is. If you're in your private employ, if you're working for a private company that is doing something in the bush, make sure that your insurance, if it's NIS, National Insurance Scheme, contributions, that you're registered and that is being paid for. It is very, very important that you do that. Many persons, including some older folks that I would have been talking to, they really regret it now that they haven't been able to, they didn't find it very important. So now what they're doing, they have to make do with just a little $20,000 plus thereabouts as a public assistance that's coming from the ministry. Those who are fortunate that would have worked with the government of Guyana would be getting the government of Guyana pension. You could get your NIS pension. And if you're fortunate enough to have been paying a private insurance, you're also getting that. So there's a couple of things that you get in there, and those are the fortunate ones. If you've been wasting time, that you have not really saw the importance of paying the pain that some people would call NIS, I think we're paying the price dearly for that. So I beg you, let us start planning. Think America, you would have all kinds of packages that people would think about, the 401k and so on. And we have a lot of folks who are joining us from overseas right now, and they would tell you about that, what is happening in the United States and more developed countries, Canada and Europe and so on, how they take care of themselves and ensure that when you come to the point of, being of the pensionable age, that there's something for you, that you could take that money, come live in Guyana, and the money comes to your bank account, and you could look after yourself by living in a little, house, that you take care of yourself, that you don't have to depend on the children because you have a pension coming in. In Guyana, you could be able to live very comfortable. I have a neighbor, used to work at a private company. He's getting his NIS, he's getting old age pension, I think, too. And he's getting some other insurance too. The wife has retired too, and she's getting something. She hasn't reached the age for old age pension yet, but between the two of them, they're living comfortable. And I want to draw the parallel there because every single day I worry as to what is going to happen to me in my old age, because if I don't have a business that is going to put aside that money, that the kind of money that is going to be there. I don't want to depend on my kids because they would have their own responsibilities. That's the last thing. You don't want to do that. Let the kids live their life, but you have to protect yourself. Look out for yourself. So I want to stop right here. It is 6222222. Want you to send those messages there. It is a very wet day. Whatever it is that you're doing, if you're home and you can't work and you're sitting and you're eating, or whatever it is that you're doing your house chores, I want to say good day to you. I want to say that, don't give up hope. That we have this beautiful country of ours. Things are going to happen. Be of good cheer. It is getting on to this time of year. We hoping that we could put 2020 behind us and that we could start afresh next year. Let's hope that we could deal with this pandemic in a very holistic manner and be able to have a vaccine early next year. In the meantime, it is imperative that we as citizens protect ourselves, make sure that we do whatever it is, that whatever it takes to protect the older ones, the vulnerables, the little kids. Fortunately for us, we haven't seen any heartbreaking stories of kids in hospitals dying in Guyana from COVID-19. But you did had some as young as 20-something, definitely 30-something, 40-something. A lot of folks in the age of 40 range getting it, even 50-something. And definitely the big ones are the 60-something, 80, 70-something. As soon as they get it, so that's close off time. It's time to shut down. Your body shuts down right away because you're talking respiratory issues. A lot of people have heart, they have kidney issues and so on. It puts strain on the organs. So you go. Protect yourself, folks. 622-222. I want you to call us. I want you to text us. Text us on that number there. Send us your WhatsApp. Send us your SMS. Do we have a call online? 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. We don't have that as yet. So in the meantime, we head straight into our text, what we would have been receiving. And this is what our people would have been saying to us today. Good afternoon, Leonard. I'm the woman who texts you for a tablet for my kids. I'm in need of it. Okay, I'm gonna put you down on the list. A couple of friends did promise me to do something, and I'm gonna work on this right away. Thank you very much. Let me see what else we have here. And the news about the Ponzi scheme, will they pay the people back their money? They haven't been saying anything, and I'm not sure why is it that all of Guyana is very, very quiet about this entire case. The man is out of jail. He has been granted bail along with his wife. Where is this matter here? Do we have millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars that are standing there that nobody is hearing something? Why is Guyana not, why are people not writing letters? I'm not sure what is happening here. I'm going to try to have a find out of that. Hi, Leonard. I would like to donate $100 to the lady from yesterday. Can I send it to you in order for you to get it? I don't know. I really don't like to do these things. What I could possibly do, maybe what you could do, find a way we could get it to, I'm going to find out which company is doing it, and maybe you guys could figure out a way how we could send it to the company that has supplies for, how you say it? Let me see. This is for the lady yesterday. Okay, this is not for this is not for the tablets or anything. This is for the lady yesterday that called. Let me get back to you on this because I really don't want to collect anybody money. It's something that I don't feel too comfortable with, but let's see what happens. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead. Good afternoon, caller. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Guyana.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I made to understand that I'm sharing pension book,
Yes.
but we not get no date for CI. If you can find out from the minister.
What I could do right now, let me see if there's anything with the ministry. This is the old age pension you're talking about?
Yeah, man.
Let me check
I check the station, I know on the TV there that you got no with day and with day, right?
Uh-huh.
And I understand that Shira Kaieteur man there, and this is CI. And the Shira East Coast and somewhere.
All right, let me tell you, this is what I have here. For Region 2, 1 second. Region 2, North Essequibo, distribution. Okay, you want to know about Region 2. Let me see, do they have Region 3 here? Do they have Region 3? They don't have any Region 3 here. Let me see what else they have here. Okay, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security wishes to notify pensioners the distribution of old age pension books of 2021 commenced on November the 2nd, 2020 in Regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 10. between the hours of 800 and 3 p.m. rather. I could give you a number that I have here that maybe you could probably call and find it. Could I do that?
Here happen. Normally we just know when they book a chair. Now we don't know nothing.
But this is what I'm telling you. I'm giving you a number right now to call them.
What is your number, sir?
227
Yeah.
4410.
Okay.
Call them right now and they could be able to tell it to you.
4410.
Yeah, 227 4410. That's what I'm seeing here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if the folks down there in Region 2, I want to say hello to the Escribble Coast. How you doing there? Pomeroon, always Supernam, Anna Regina, Henrietta, whatever it is that you're doing, stay safe. Make sure that you use a vitamin C. Wear your mask. Insist that the people who are sitting in the vehicles wear the mask, and the driver too. Do not wear it below your chin. Do not wear it at the back of your ears, at the back of your head. That's not how it's. Put it over your nose, cover your mouth. Make sure that if there's a clip there that it squeezes your nose so it can't, you're trying to minimize the air that you breathe that is not getting out there, getting onto anybody. If you're sneezing, that's the way how you do it. Do it into the V of your arm there. Region 2 scheduled for 2021 old age pension booklet distribution. The distribution has commenced. See where you have to go to uplift years. And according to the ministry here, Tameout Manor Primary School, Ministry of Social Protection building next to GRA, Anna Regina, Lima Sands Primary, Dartmouth Seventh-day Baptist Church. This is in Paradise Jib. And the one, of course, Lima Sands is McNabb Lima Sands. Hampton Court Primary School. Danielstown Youth Center. This is Beth Hope Primary School. This is Beth Hope Somerset. So there's a Beth Hope in Somerset. You learn something every day. Yeah? For the in Region 2 in the Pomeroon, you could go to the Charity NDC office, or in the Pomeroon in the Upper and Lower Pomeroon area. No, well, it's Charity NDC offices where you collect the books there for the Pomeroon area. So I hope that has given you some kind of help there. In the meantime, before we head back to the line very quickly, let's read some of the other messages that has been coming in from our people. 6222222. Let me see what else I have here. Will the government drop the price of fuel for the farmers? You could probably ask for that. I think the Ministry of Agriculture has been meeting with the farmers. You could call in there. There's some benefits that you could get to farmers when it comes to fuel and so on. You need to talk to your Ministry of Agriculture. I think, let me see what's the number there. 227-5049. Please call that number, 227-5049. If you're a farmer, you're looking for some kind of help, that's the Ministry of Agriculture. We have a very aggressive Minister of Agriculture there, Zulfikar Mustafa, and he wants to help. Good day to your boss and listeners. We heard that the promise of the politicians, when we get in, we'll renegotiate the oil contracts. What happened, or why are you silent on it? I'm angry because the oil blocks give away. I'm taking a stand against it. Who's with me? Thanks, blessings. This person here would have been telling us that he is coming on board with the oil fight. I know that this is revving up into being something that is like the United States. There's a big fight there with the elections. Do we have another caller online? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Okay, we missed that one there. Let's see what else. The phone is engaged. Well, you'd have to try calling them back there. Let me see. See what they have here. Hi, Leonard. I'm happy to get a tablet for my kids. I have 3 kids. Thank you very much. I'm going to see what I can do there. Good morning. And okay, this is for this morning here. Do you have another caller in the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, go right ahead, ma'am. I'm hearing you. Go right ahead.
Hi. Good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Can you enlighten me about the VAT situation? Do the VAT come off all food stuff?
Well, as far as I know, foodstuff, yes. Well, why are you asking that? Tell me
I
what's...
went and do groceries just now when I come back. And when I check my bill, it's coming. Everything from Bihari is VAT. Colgate, Lima, all this thing is VAT.
Could you send me a copy of that bill there, please? And let me see if I forward it to the GRA boss and find out whether that's legal or that's illegal.
Okay.
Could you do that to 6222222?
Yes.
Yes, do that. Put it attention myself. I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, dear.
Okay then. Bye.
Good day. All right. So in the meantime, dear, it is November the 4th. We will take a break now. When we back, more phone calls 226-7453. We also want you to send us those messages to 6222222.
I'm Vindhyavasini Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security. I'm a passionate believer in creating opportunities for the vulnerable and persons who are in dire need of providing for their families. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has been inundated with requests from people for jobs, help, and support. I know COVID-19 has made your lives difficult and you're struggling to make ends meet. We want to help. If you know how to sew, you can earn from every mask that you make and package. All you need is a sewing machine and fabric. Join the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Garment and Accessories Cottage Initiative and make thousands of masks to supply various entities. Simply fill out an application which is available on our ministry's website, or uplift an application from any of the ministries or Regional Democratic Council offices countrywide. For more information, contact Himwanti Lagan on 672-1653 or via email hlagan136@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. And let me tell you, somebody is texting us all the way from Mahaika. And she is saying here, hi, good afternoon. I'm from Mahaika. We not get any water here. We call in GWI and not getting any response. Could you tell me a specific area in Mahaika that you're not getting the water? And could you also tell me if you're aware of where the well is located in this area here? I need to send it to the minister. If you have that area where you're not getting water, it's going to be helpful when I send it, because, you know, some of these ministers are very busy. They send it to the technical folks, and that's what they do. Good afternoon. I like your radio show. Well, it's the People's Radio Show. Thank you very much for that. Good day. Please call on the authorities to fix the street and Providence New Scheme. There are huge holes. Vehicles get damaged driving in these holes. Please call on the minister to fix these streets. So I'm going to send this here. Could you also send the number, the names of the street, because Providence is a big area. If you're giving me information, make sure that we have it. What did I do there? 1 second. Do you have a caller on the line in the meantime? Could we do that? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I am concerned.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this COVID. I want to know people securing themselves, and when you have to go and join the bus, you're insecure.
Explain to me when you say insecure. What happened?
I'm securing myself with all the COVID rules, right?
Uh-huh.
Good. And when you're going to catch a bus now, people don't have masks, the driver, they don't tell, I don't know. No, the other day, the police, the heavy inspector, Diamond and so on, police was on the road, they stopped the bus, and he just check, tell the man to have a little tint, but people in the bus don't have masks, and then checking. Now when...
Did you raise the issue with the police there and say, look, this is what's happening?
I raised the issue with the person in the bus. I said, put on your mask. She don't have time with that.
Who's she? Who's she?
A Negro girl and a Negro boy, right?
They the conductor?
No, there was two passengers just in front of me.
No, but listen to me, and this is what you got to do. Do not enter a bus if the people are not there. You got to insist. So you see how long we don't do these things? I mean, yes.
Yeah.
You know, traditionally, you know why... Go ahead.
No, after one mistake. If the police, they have a roadblock. They have 2 inspectors and about 5-6 police. Good. They stop a vehicle.
Where is this? Where this took place?
Just at Diamond. Before you cross, before you turn, you're in Diamond yet.
Uh-huh.
A little way in front, like 2 cars, like where you have DSL before that.
Uh-huh.
Right, good.
Oh, there's the hustlers. There's some police hustlers that's be there.
No, yeah, but what said this was a campaign, like.
Uh-huh.
Because they have a roadblock. So, yeah, by junior staff. Once they have a roadblock there, they mean it's a campaign.
Right.
Good. Now, we told the line, stop the bus or X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, if the police is doing this work and you have a campaign, you have to campaign for everything who is out of order. Because now, we have a new government, the country is down, and we need money. And if they, what I'm saying, if they're out of order, the government need money. Who's paying stupid and who's going to give people life? Who's they trying to take care of their life? And they don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Put the fine on them. Let it have, if somebody go and do a robbery, you catch them, you have to pay the fine. If somebody now, if you have a bus and just your mind slip on a fitness date or something, they will harass you so much, like if it's a thief.
All right, I hear what you're saying there, and
You know?
you listen to my comments. When you finish, I'm going to tell you how we deal with situations like this.
Yes, I was saying, a little thing, what we would, like a little people, like yeah, them my license, I mistaken my license on the year, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I sure 3 other police already and they gave me the license also, so I didn't have no thought about it no more, because if they give me back it, you know what I mean? And when the 4th one now stop, he said, your license expired. I said, you're mad? Not known as 19 is not 20.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worry with him, and he don't belong on a big man, a big man, I'm 66 years old. I said, from my heart, I tell you, well, exactly, I'm aware of this, because I give 3 other police and they just give him back and tell him to go in.
Well, they say ignorance is no excuse. When they catch you, you're supposed to be checking. So
No,
yes.
that's not ignorant.
No, but you understand what I'm saying? Not knowing. When I say ignorance,
I know you
not
do,
knowing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
I
it means.
But you know, I see it's about the school thing. I mean, it's so international in the country right now. I mean, every minute of the day or every time you put on a TV, you put on a radio, you hear about COVID. People dying out, this or this door. You're trying to take care of yourself. And people still there on the road and this
It is an issue because you know why? Because we are irresponsible people. We don't like to pay attention. We don't like to do anything. When the police said there's a lockdown, we here what we do. We quarrel because we can't go out and drink a beer. You know how stupid that is?
Well, there's some people, they're not from me.
Well, that's the situation. But thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
God
All
bless.
right.
All right. So in the meantime, let me tell you this. If you're going into a minibus and you see that a couple of passengers, or if they're overcrowded, they're supposed to be, I think, about 10. I don't think there's a number. I think there can be more than 2 persons in one of those seats across. And it has to include the driver and the passenger. So you have 2, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and maybe 10 persons in a minibus, a 15-seater there. If you see persons in there not wearing a mask, get out. Get another minibus. That's 1. 2, if a police stop you in a roadblock, then you say, I spoke to these idiots here. Yes, I use the word idiots. And those are the drivers and the passengers and the conductor. And you got to be bad about this thing. You got to start doing that. I spoke to these idiots here and they're not listening, and you need to take actions. Take out your phone if you have one and start videoing and see what kind of actions the police officers are going to take. And let me tell you why many times the police men are not taking actions. Because many of them own minibuses working on the same road in which they control. Do we have it very clear? So when you see that happen, go into another minibus. And if you're not happy with that, go into another one. You need to protect yourself. They are the ones who are going to find that maybe they don't care. They think that it's going to happen to somebody else and not them. It is something we have to live with. You have to wash your hands. Like I said before, yesterday I was at a funeral. And I'm seeing this guy here was doing some work. And in his pocket, he keeps taking out. You know, certain things stick in my head. I pay attention to details. He's taking out the sanitizer every 5 minutes, wash his hands. It's almost like when it becomes an automatic gesture. And so he's there doing that, and it's, why is he, it's there. When you're looking at it, it looks a little weird. But guess what? These are good practices to have, and this is what the authorities, the health ministry, PAHO, WHO, and everybody's saying that what you need to do. It might not, if you just have a lapse, it could be the one that is going to hit you, and maybe you have a condition that you probably don't even know about. There was a very strong man has a transportation business that was doing big work there, I think, for Aurora Mines. Has a lot of trucks taking in food stuff and so on. Ended up getting COVID. Nobody knew where he went. Got it, end up in the hospital. Only then to know that he had some kind of other condition. He died. Very, very young, very successful businessman. Lots of properties, lots of assets and money. And he died. And these are the reality. It's not going to tell you not because you have money or so. At the end of the day, if you have conditions, it's going to attack you. Reality step in. That's reality talk there. Good afternoon, caller. Do we have a caller in line? Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon. Okay, we missed that one there. So in the meantime, we go straight back. The numbers are 226-7453, 226-7453 here on Kaieteur Radio. And let me read some messages that we have here. So, Gandhi said if there's an idiot in power, it means that those who elect him are well representative. Gandhi was a very wise man. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ann Davison. I really enjoyed the radio program. But you say you could help people. I'm wondering if you could help. Sorry. I'm sorry I had to read this out. I'm working on this right now. I'm going to put this down here. Thank you very much for that. I'm sorry that I read that out. I didn't realize that you were asking that. Good afternoon, sir. We're not getting any water for the past 2 days in Annandale West. It seems as if GWI, what is happening in GWI with you guys? Haslington had a problem. The people down at Kanji complaining there. People down somewhere in the thing the quarantine there complaining. The well is in Luzaknan ground, center ground, and Annandale not getting money. So give me money now, water. All right, we're gonna stop here right now, and we go straight into a phone call. Could we go to a phone call right now? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're here. Hello. Hello. Are you there? Yes. Good afternoon. It seems as if the water gets into the line too. We not get it. So it's 226-7453, 226-7453. You could also call us on send the messages to 6222222. It's a cold day. I think I'm getting all mixed up here. Let me see what else, if there's another message, some other messages here. Part 6, Mr. Gildarie, you have any information when they share the pension book? At Lamaha Street, the phone is engaged. I called the number about 10 times, but no answer. Oh, yeah? Let me go try it back right now. We put it on air and let's see what happens. I like to do things like this. Let me see, 227-4410. Let's see, 227-4410. I like to put things to a... All right, we calling them to find out. Somebody's on the phone right now. All right, we're going to call them back just now. All right, so do we have a call in line? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, Mr. Gildarie. How are you?
Pretty good, sir. Go right ahead.
I enjoyed the program.
Yes.
Have a concern, which I'm surprised that the authorities haven't really looked into and fixed this thing yet. As a result of the riots they had on the road, they burned the road.
Uh-huh.
They got some holes there, especially one particular part. This thing is as big as a car. My friend was driving there the other night. Now what's happening? The holes are new, and so persons who don't go to Georgetown often would not remember exactly where these holes are. The guy drove in the hole with his car, almost flipped the car, almost,
I know about it because I was up in. I know about the holes, and it amazed me that people could actually destroy this country like that.
Well, exactly. But listen to this: the villagers there and those who did that don't understand the damage they cause. One, to the road, and second, it can result in people dying as a result of driving there. They are ignorant of all of that, but those responsible for looking after the road, they have to be thinking that you have half of the country driving up and down on that same road, and at least it has to be fixed to some level, so that it doesn't become a danger to people. If someone new drive there, they will die. These holes are way too big, and it's going to get worse with the rainy season. Now it's going to get worse.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to raise that issue. In fact, I did take note of it when I was up in Barbados recently, a
Uh-huh.
couple of weeks back, and
Yeah.
I was amazed that, we seem to be our worst own enemies, in that we could actually destroy this country. I mean, you want to
Exactly.
do something, but when you see the holes in the road, they're going to
Mhm.
have to take, the government would have to take money and
Mhm.
spend it on that when that money could be spent on something else. That's the way that I think.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
money could be spent on something else, to buy
Truly.
insulin
Yeah.
maybe for some patients.
Very, very true. But then, I mean, persons who might be listening from those areas need to understand that the correct approach is not to burn the road and destroy the country. The correct approach is to form yourself into a group and go to the minister's office in a peaceful manner and raise your concerns. Get things done. That is how we make things happen. You go to the relevant authority and speak to them. Air your concern, tell them what you want, what you don't think is happening. We need to consult with. You don't need to destroy and create trouble. It doesn't answer the problem.
I hear you. And today, I couldn't help but thinking that when you look at the US elections there and
Mm,
see two of the most probably powerful men in the world sitting down there
yeah.
waiting on the votes to be counted. So I want to
Right.
ask the question here, and this is a rhetorical question.
Mm,
Who's really powerful? Is it the president that is powerful or the voters who has those two people waiting?
mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? Do you
Yes.
understand how
Yes. Yes.
who's really the powerful ones? The people with the
Yeah.
votes. They're the
Exactly.
one who and somebody says there, Gandhi says, if you have an idiot for a president, or you voted in an idiot for president,
Mhm.
then the people are well represented. It means
Mhm.
that you got what you wanted and they're representing you. But it is a very serious thing. It sounds a little funny, but it is very, very serious. But
Yes.
I hear
Very
what you're
true.
saying, sir. I'm going to raise this matter here with maybe Deodat Indar as the
Mm.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, or Juan Edgel, who's the Minister of Public Works here.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Mr. Gildarie. At least it needs to be patched to some level. They might not, come completely fix it, but it needs to be patched up. And so, thanks again, Mr. Gildarie.
Great. Thank you very much, dear. So
Yeah.
wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, it is the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and we want to wake you up. Let's wake up your soul. Let's get you up and acting. I want you to be angry, because you know what? This country is yours. It's not Gildarie's. It is not Raj. It's not Glenlad. It's our country. We want to benefit from the resources. We want to benefit from our logs, from our trees, from our bauxite deposit, from our gold, our diamond, our fish, our oil. Don't stop there. Continues. Whatever it is that we got to get it for this country, we want to see good roads. We want to see good places. We could go sit down at a restaurant. We want to see good pension. What are you guys doing? Are you sitting down and you're sleeping? Wake up. And talking about waking up, it is time. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. 121 Regent and Oronox Street. So better serve you. You can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. So in the meantime, we continue here. It is 6222222. I want you guys to to send us the messages on that. I want to read those messages. What's bothering you? What's it that you would like your government to do? What's it that you think about the U.S. elections? What do you think about that two people that died? Do you know of any case where somebody is being or suffering in a domestic abuse situation, or whether their life is in danger? What are you doing about it? Have you shut your mouth? Are you saying anything? Do you know of any kiddos in there? You should know that they're the authorities that is looking after. Let's don't shut our mouth and say that it's not my duty. Let them try the the Guyanese thing. Let them try the it's them business. It's not time for them business. It's our business as well. You want to live your lives. You want to live the quality of your life. You got to start putting things into place, which is, let's start paying attention. Let's start paying attention when the police can't know that the boys are hanging in the corner. They are robbing everybody. You have to tell them, and you call them again tomorrow morning. I'm calling you from Diamond here, and this is what is happening. I expect you to be there. And if you're not there tomorrow morning, I'm going to call you again, or I'm going to call you later and call the commandant and say that I said that to you. We did ask the folks there to get the commander to get some help from to the horse selling people there on the Sidam. Lots of drugs and music and smoke up. Everybody smoking up the herbs. And the police went there and they cleared it out. And so yes, it is a little better there. So things are happening. Things can happen. What are you doing about it? I don't know, but you need to do something. Do you have a call on the line there? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You in the air?
Hi, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, it is.
The number that you give me.
Uh-huh.
I call over 20 times.
Hold on. I calling it right now. Let's see what happens.
And
Because
there's no thing, or just now give me a call on one more time. Anyway, you call these people don't have to come to the phone.
hold
I
on.
don't know about that.
Hold on. I'm getting it right now. Let me put it.
All
I put it on the standby. Calling them right now.
I don't know about that.
I like when these things happen so we could be able to put it to the test. Why would you give the people a number and you don't answer the number? So it is 2:04. It's not lunchtime or anything, and you're not answering the phone. So they gone on a holiday. Let me see what is happening.
Exactly what happened, man.
No, these things are not right. Do they have another number here? They have another number here. 623 1771. Carla 1.
623.
1771.
All right. 623 1771.
1771.
All right, let me just put it on, please.
Thank you. Apparently it's ringing out. You're quite right.
623
1771.
623
1771.
1771. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear sir. And you call that too when you finish. Do not call us right now. Do not call us on 62222. We cannot answer that phone there. That phone is for text. You call us on 2267453, or you send us those texts to 62222. Do we have another call in the air there? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon,
Gildarie.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I am calling towards the $25,000 grant in the Pomeroon.
Pomeroon, yes.
I would like to know when they will share from charity going down in the Pomeroon.
Were they in that area there, or what did they not do it? What do you
I saw
know?
it on the phone. They were at charity. So I would like to
All
know
right.
when-
Well, let me tell you, I just received a text here from somebody within the Ministry of Finance. I was supposed to get the gentleman today on this show here, but apparently there was some emergency. They had to sign some contracts and whatever, so he couldn't make it. But he texted me back here. Let me call him back this afternoon. And I think the guy is a permanent secretary in one of the ministries. He's one of the frontline person who's going to come. So I'm going to be asking him about the various areas and what happens there. And one of the issues I'm going to raise is about the Pomeroon area there. So would that be okay? I'm going to raise it with him. I'm hoping to bring him tomorrow. Immediately after the show, I'm going to have a conversation with him.
Okay, Mr. Gildarie.
Thank you very much. Good. Bye-bye. So I want to say good day to the good folks who've been joining us from the United States there. What's happening there? Are you guys nervous? Are we looking for the long haul? What is it that you're thinking of? Could we have some comments, please? 6222222. Of course, you are tuned into our Facebook page here as well. Kaieteur Radio on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube or you want to look at it on YouTube, it's Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Be coming to you. We also coming to you live on 99.1 in Esquibo and Demerara. And if you're in Berbice, it's 99.5. Tell us what's the quality, what is happening there. We know a lot of people are locked in. It's a very wet day. Many places are underwater at the moment because of the heavy rains. We have a couple more days, maybe, according to the authorities, with regards to some rains. This morning, the thunder was so heavy with the lightning and everything. I understand one of my friends, it struck out his entire security system there, burned some equipment there. So he said, he's a little worried there. But a lot of people would have been complaining of being on the water. You see several parts of the street, Main Street, South Road, several buildings that NCN and so on there would be on the water. And because of the amount of rain, it was like non-stop rain. It was falling into a steady downpour there. So it is 2267453. Do we have another caller? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Good man.
Tell me, what bothering you?
Yes, so what I may you do something real great for Translate North. Let me tell you that the road bad. That's very good.
The road bad? Which road bad?
They translate not.
Okay, good. And so it fixed? They started fixing it?
Yeah, them doing good piece of work and okay. That's very much of that. But here this trend now by brain how you get translate the whole trend but I'm still now back even see pattern around the whole place full of this.
You're talking about this area that is on the railway embankment there, that trends here?
Yes, right through and translate north to get through right through this.
Well, let me tell you this. It doesn't matter unless we really find a lot of billions of dollars. I was talking to some engineers this morning. Yes, I think one of the things that by the administration and even on the Donna Ramatar, when they had built that Hope Canal, that was a very good idea that they had done there. But the fact is, we're always going to find ourselves, unless we go back to the days of the Dutch, where there isn't any housing schemes. We are going to find our problems in this. It doesn't matter which government is going to be in place because many of the housing schemes have taken over the drainage and so on that would have been a natural drainage.
North has been now get to the water got to my box.
Right.
The place is here. You can lay down by the grass. I mean, see to the place and get some people who come to clean out them. But so they may go home there, even water the place. Not me alone, all the neighbor them.
Yes, it's a lot of water. It's all over. I think the amount of rain that fell.
Here, water, but the main thing is to clean the drain.
Right. So here what you're going to do for me. Here what you're going to do for me. I want you to engage your NDC there because we have to do it. You remember we live in there.
That's the man.
Huh?
They're not take no advice.
No, you have to start doing it. You know what you got to do? You know your yard is being flooded. You have to be angry. You got to walk into them. You got to go into these people here. I'm not saying to beat anybody or do anything. What I'm saying to you, you got to go into them.
It's fine talking to them. They're not doing nothing.
No, you have to do it. Because let me tell you what you're going to do there. In addition to do that, you get somebody who maybe a grandchild, if you can't do it, and let them write a letter to the minister, and you copy it, and you send it to the newspaper publish it too.
Yes, they ask if I can send the minister, or he send his program and see how this place is bad.
Right, I hear what you're saying there. But let me start. We got to start, like I said before, open your mouth. You have a big mouth. Open it.
The rain is so much now, the water so much. You cannot come and clean. When the rain is falling, and I clean it.
Right.
You understand?
They have to see what is priority there, huh? So I thank you very much for that, sir. I'm going to continue to raise this issue here.
You're the help out a lot of people.
Thank you very much, sir.
Vigilant, not the right to get to still a box right today. All the things, get on 10 man and walk with that here.
All right. Yes. I know what's happening. It's almost every NDC you have them.
You just come and watch nothing.
All right.
Them have to move it and then put in somebody here.
I know. You can't do it except through elections, eh?
You only look after it. And you wrong area then. Go get fame.
All right, no problem. I'm going to continue to look at this issue here. I'm going to raise it with the folks.
Yes.
I made a note of it.
Let me see. You did a very good work with me, ma'am. I mean,
yes, thank you very much, sir. I'm going to continue to do that. Yes. So until then. So, Mr. Leonard, no water in Williamsburg and Rose Hall for 3 days now. Also, GPL is every day is blackout. I'm so tired of them. Presently, and I'm on generator last night for hours and today again. Why they're not saying anything to us? It's like nothing is working for GW and GPL. Oh yes, I know. Remember, some days you get so busy. I think today was a crazy day because the power came on just before I left for work. It was blackout from about 4 o'clock this morning to about after 10, 11. And I got so mad, I picked up the phone and I called GPL's PR department, the PR official there. And I said, you need to get the GPL on our program here for the simple reason why it is not only daily non-stop blackouts that is happening along the East Coast and on the East Bank and so on. Barbicians have been complaining incessantly about the situation there. Nobody's saying anything All you're just saying something trip and some localized fault. As far as the man in the street is concerned, they don't care whether it's localized fault or whatever. They need at the end of the day, they need the power. And what is it that you're doing? You need to say something. If you don't say anything, people are going to take this as if it's a normal situation. Today I left home. The kids can't do anything in school because they canceled classes because of the blackout situation, it seems. And that for me is a no-no. But guess what? I understand that the power outage came because of the storm, that storm that we had this morning. It's a mini storm kind of the thing that's happening there. So very quickly, so people complain about GPL and so. Sorry, on the eastern end of the Barbies Bridge, the whole 1 mile road is dismal, dark, and desolate with roaming cows. Released on the road as dry ground in the night and will be a good hunting ground for robbery if no light is erected. I spoke to GPL in New Amsterdam almost a year ago. Are you talking about this bridge that is the Crab Island area there? I'm not sure. Could you give me some more details? Maybe I could raise this with the regional chairman or even Mr. Zamal Hussein there from the Region 6 area. Gildarie, the share pension book country Region 3 at the Metamirzog Masjid. That's what somebody's saying. If you want to know, they're saying that they're doing it at the Metamirzog Masjid. Good afternoon, Gildarie. With the recent heavy downpour, the Blackbush Polo Road is in very bad shape. 5 ministers have visited since September, and it looks like they're turned a blind eye on the situation. Well, I have some good news for you. I did see a contract being issued recently. I'm going to try to get it back. But the Blackbush Road, I think they've issued a contract for the repair of it. So let us see, a contractor, they put aside some money and a contractor has been signed on or about to be signed on for that. Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. It's not time to buy a car, it's time to buy a boat. Somebody is saying that. Yes, I guess what you're saying there, it's true. It's a lot of water in the streets today. Just wanted to know if you saw the video. This is, let me see. Okay, they're talking about the water in the street here. Somebody said a lot of people are sending videos about the water and what is happening here. Good afternoon, sir. Any ideas about the Suriname ferry? I really need to go home. Good question. You're stuck in Guyana, my dear. The government isn't talking with the government in Suriname as well. Maybe you could contact the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Ask them if there's any way that you could get across to Suriname at the moment, because they've been talking to them. I'm going to try to maybe ask the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Let me make a note of this too, about the Suriname thing. But I don't think Suriname would want to be assured that they are being protected. So it's 226-7453. You could also send us a text on 622-222. So let me see. Good afternoon, Leonard. Please advise the government not to give citizenship to foreigners in our country. You see what the Hispanic vote, example, Cubans, Venezuela, etc., did to the USA elections last evening. When these Cubans and Venezuelans, etc., vote collectively in your country, they will become the next government, your senators or your congressmen. I'm not against immigration, but let us be very careful. Otherwise, Guyanese will be speaking Chinese, Spanish, or Portuguese in the near future. Regarding our oil, let's get some technocrats like Zaki Zamani from Saudi Arabia to advise our government. King Faisal of Saudi Arabia appointed Zaki as the petroleum minister. He caused the Saudis to become rich overnight. So let's stop complaining and recruit Guyanese technocrats to negotiate better deals for the benefit of Guyanese. Of course, normally coming from, this is a gentleman, Derek, has been in the Middle East. A good day to you, Mr. Derek Hawker. Yes, sir, the Palmyra end. Okay. They're talking about the Palmyra and over on the bridge there that is leading from the Barbies Bridge. Says many cows have been released on the road there, and it is, if you got to stop, it could be a prime place for robberies and so on. That area there need to be fixed. Good afternoon, Leonard. GR again, the same old business here in Region 2. It's sickening to know that the Attorney General, Mr. Anand, is saying something and GR is doing the opposite. Who's lying to the nation? We need to know. Could you give me a call afterwards on Kaieteur line, Kaieteur News line there, 225-8491. Let me know about the situation in Region 2 with GRA. I'm highly interested in it if you guys are listening. Before we go back to the lines, hi, Mr. Gildarie. Good afternoon. I'm a community health worker at a health center. The issue that there's favoritism among us at the health center. The file area elimination campaign training is about to begin, and the FO, not sure who's a field officer, is showing biasness among myself and the others. They want me to work a standby like they did last year again. I don't have personal boat and engine to get out to the river. And the other workers have, yet I'm being the target. When I try to contact the supervisor, they're not responding to my message. I need somebody to look into this. It's not fair. I need help. Well, my dear, did you try to get hold of Dr. Vishnu Mahadio? He's the Inspector General. The Inspector General there, I think he's in Region 2. I'm going to send you his text number. I'm going to text you his number. Maybe you could give him a call and see whether there's something that he could do for you there. 1 second, folks. People ask for help, but we got to give it to them. Okay, his number. Let me see what it is. Do we have a caller on the line in the meantime? Good afternoon, caller. In the air, go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Man, what me got tell you? Me not do good.
You not do good?
This what happened. My brother call you and tell you about concerning pension book, right?
Uh-huh.
Me pass a Meti Mirzag, right?
Uh-huh.
And Meti Mirzag West Masjid of share pension book.
Uh-huh.
You hear me, sir?
Yes.
I mean, how you not know that West Region 3 not share pension book?
Well, I'm really interested in pension. I mean, the people just calling, I'm trying to find out for them. But look, listen to me. How come he doesn't know that? Maybe he probably says he didn't see. I think what he's saying, he didn't see anything.
No, but here, them supposed to inform you Region 3 so area I share the book.
Right.
Right?
I'm not sure how they think. What I'm going to have to do, I think they used to do it. I think a couple of people, the new people,
Tushin Masjid, me live in Tushin Masjid does here. Meti Mirzag Masjid, Tushin New Scheme Masjid does here. Let the people announce or put it in the paper.
They have to do something like that. You know what I think? What I think they're doing? They're just putting it on Facebook and things like that. The normal man in the street, all the folks, and so they ain't got time with Facebook and so. So it has to be on radio, or you have to do an ad in the newspaper. You have to do something. Mm-hmm. So I hear what you're saying there. So you're saying the Tushan Masjid?
No, then they share about meet me Ben up Lenora.
And Lenora too.
Right? NIS office, and right in coming back, then we stop at the Masjid at Meti Mirzag West. And the people have a share pension book there.
All right, so I hope that they've gotten it very clear there. Thank you very much, my brother.
Here now, next thing. Since this government going nobody come tell me not Tushin, my brother. What happened? Zero are getting me not need, but you got poor people in Tushin.
But I think they have $25,000 that they coming through.
They're in Tushin new scheme. Tushin is a big area.
Right.
Right? In that scheme, that we live in the old scheme. But the new scheme that they're sharing. Right? So, we don't know when they reach across the old scheme. Then upon the new scheme for going back down. Far down.
I don't understand how they're working too, because my thought is that they're going to finish those areas. But remember, you have almost 200,000 to 300,000 persons. I'm not sure about the teams. We need to know about that because they have kept it very, very quiet. They've kept it very, very quiet when it comes to, because I presume it's security reasons, about how they're doing it and who they're moving around with. This is cash that you're actually dealing with going into communities. And yes, you have reported incidents of people taking advantage of some people within a family. 2, 3 of them would go and they claim and they got it and so on. I'm not sure how that happened, but at the end of the day, we need to have something. But the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Public Works, they have indicated that they're willing to come on the radio. We're supposed to do it today, but there was some emergency. So more than likely, we're doing that tomorrow. And it is like about 20 minutes after 2 right now. In the meantime, let's go read ourselves. Hi, good afternoon, Leonard. Could you please find out when jobs going to be available at a Saudi hospital in Region 2? I applied for a job there 8 months now. Every time I go to the RDC, the REO said that he knows nothing. The PPO says that they do not know nothing. The administration for the hospital says she knows nothing. I don't know where else to go. Could you please find out? I'm not sure. Do they have opening? And do they normally would have opening at the hospitals there? Where do you normally apply? I think in this particular case, it's not only at the hospital. I think you should apply at the Ministry of Health. To think that's where it is, and then liaise with them and tell them you live in Escobar there and you want to work at Saudi. And when openings become, I don't think per se that the openings just appear just like that. And then even if you apply, there has to be some kind of system in which you could become qualified or eligible for that job there. Not the one's not qualified, eligible for that job. They have to go through the recruitment process. But I'm going to try to find out for you there, though. Thank you very much for that question there. In the meantime, these protesters that blocked the road in West Bobby should be arrested and fined in order to pay for the road. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. This person spelled my name Lanird, like in Lenboard. Okay, it is very, very disgusting. We in West Bobby taking blackout every day. Everything in the fridge is spoiled. Yes, there's an issue that people are really, really suffering with there. Thank you very much there, my lady. It is something I'm not sure what is going on with GPL. Is it sabotage, or is it all of a sudden that our lines have gone down? So many technical issues. Not sure what is happening here. So somebody sent me a picture there of the Blackbush Road there, and it is looking really in a terrible state. Contract has been awarded, I understand. Good afternoon, sir. We all love listening to the channel. We're living in the Supernam Creek. Thank you very much. Have a good day, Supernam Creek. That's on the Essequibo area there, Region 2. Hello, Leonard. We're the lady V-boats when you need them. Enjoying the show. Thank you very much. So let's go back to the lines. 2267453. Do we have a caller on the line? Yes, good day, caller.
Hi, good afternoon, Leonard. How are you?
Pretty good, ma'am. Go right ahead.
What is the weather doing with you?
Well, I don't know. The last couple of days, I see my sinus. I'm not sure. I have it's tickling.
Okay, the rain is really falling heavy towards Zealot here.
Zealot, that's on the west coast of the East Bank Escobar area there. Yes, go right ahead.
I want to tell you, right? Guyanese don't have patience.
Well,
they hear about $25,000. They ever get that? Then I should wait until they get it, man. Let us really do some people, man.
That might be the case, but here the thing. There's two sides to every story. You see, when you don't have anything, this pandemic has really did some things, and I understand what you're saying there. But a lot of people.
Yes, but I'm an age-good person. I'm not getting no pension. My husband not getting pension. My husband still working, and I'm still hustling, right? And yes, you have to, whatever little you have to bear with it and eat. You're not dead. You're going to get the money, right? And what I'm saying, that these people there who are fraud in this thing, they need to get a little lock up for that, man. They can't protect more than one person money, who are on different places and demand money. They don't use an ID card.
Yeah, I understand. It is... people, because of this, like I said, because of the situation that's happening, so there's some desperate situations that's out there with people. But I understand what you're saying there too, because many people would have said that it wasn't there before. But the fact is, I could tell you a story a long time back. They had come in and share out when GT&T was doing landlines in the Grove area where I was living. And when they delivered, they went on one side of the street, and for months they didn't come to our side of the street. And I'm looking at my next door neighbor have a telephone line, and I was, a little boy, and I really wanted a telephone because it's not. I didn't really view it as a necessity. I thought it was a good luxury at that time. I didn't understand, but I was so upset that they weren't coming by us for months on the end. So I understand what the people are going through because
we know, man. We know what we're going through because of this COVID and people not figuring to do the right thing and to stop this thing. And if they continue, they go die out.
Yes.
They go die out for the hard business, right? And if they can't protect themselves, who don't want to protect themselves?
Yes, I hear what you're saying, my lady.
Nobody can want to protect them if they don't want to. Even to the minibus people, them still picking up people without masks and these things, right? You know? And then again, I'm a woman. I born in Annandale, right? When I was a young girl growing, and never racial, I telling you. I born at Annandale and Buxton, and we were so nice at those times, right? And I don't know what really going on in this country. This new president gone in there, oh my God, what so much mess he have to clean. Oh my God, oh. It's like when we got a lot of things to do, you know? We have to bear with this man. We have to bear, we have to be there. And you know, we have to be there for him too, buddy. We cannot, everything we want now, and this man is gone in there. So this is just couple months he's in there and trying nearly best.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I hear what you're saying there.
We got to understand him because he's Guyanese. You know the song where the man singers says he was Guyanese at the airport, so they start talking Yankee. So they're talking Yankee now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I hear what you're saying. I like his
I hear that this scheme is a big place. Scheme is a big place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And scheme and I live at Zilot. When the people finish there, oh my God, they're not going to go other places. But these people have a fraud in these things. They need to do something about them, right?
No, tell me about this fraud. What is it that you're hearing?
That the money that they say they mean getting and they're passing them and people saying getting money. These things, them, you know what they're doing? Like, they got to see what to do, right? They got to take these people, them name down, and see how much people get money and go back to them and call them and give them the money. You know how?
Mm-hmm. It's a very touchy situation.
Right? But I mean, for say, everybody going to get the money, but you know, you can't pass people. Because I hear lately a lady calling, she says she's a single parent, and they pass her and give her some money. I say, care about people calling. You know that, Leonard, people calling and get their money.
Yes.
And I think they're supposed to do something about it. Take these people their name, take the number, call them, and go back and give them their money. They need it.
I always knew that it was going to be a difficult thing if you're going to share out hampers and so. I got a little foundation that the family is involved in. We have it over 10 years. And every time we do it, every Monday we do it, if you see the confusion there's going to be there, you're going to be very, very, very firm. It's always going to be a nightmare when you come to the logistics of sharing out things and so on.
Yeah, man.
It is a nightmare, literally a nightmare.
Yeah. You got for a patient what, Leonard, I live in here in Zilot, and I never get nothing, and I'm not complaining. I thank God for what I'm eating, and I thank God for my health and my strength. I think we're going to press this man so badly, so wanted. Everybody just calling.
I think we would have lost that call there, and she's so very much right on point there. So we take a break right now, and when we come back, we look forward to more of those messages on 62222, 62222, and you could call us on 226-7453. We will be back with you in a very short while.
I'm Vindhyavasini Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security. I'm a passionate believer in creating opportunities for the vulnerable and persons who are in dire need of providing for their families. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has been inundated with requests from people for jobs, help, and support. I know COVID-19 has made your lives difficult and you're struggling to make ends meet. We want to help. If you know how to sew, you can earn from every mask that you make and package. All you need is a sewing machine and fabric. Join the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Garment and Accessories Cottage Initiative and make thousands of masks to supply various entities. Simply fill out an application which is available on our ministry's website, or uplift an application from any of the ministries or Regional Democratic Council offices countrywide. For more information, contact Himwanti Lagan on 672-1653 or via email hlagan136@gmail.com.
Thank you very much and welcome back here to the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio. Coming to you live from a student, Sapon Street 99.1, 99.5. And you could also get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And I see some people are actually so very upset that they've missed certain parts of the show. You know why they missed it? Because daylight saving time has kicked in certain parts wherever they're joining us from, and so they would have missed the first hour of this show. I'm really sorry about that. So you just tune in as Rita and the Rita Jagmohan always been with us, and they were advising, like and follow Kaieteur News, and they will send you the notification if you join us on Facebook or YouTube, and they could be able to do that. So I want to say thank you very much for joining us today on the Wake Up Guyana show. It's always such a pleasure talking to you people, listening to you. Some people say, where do you get the patience from, Gildarie, to listen to these people? Sometimes you really come up against some difficult ones. I said, if you understand where I come from and what I've been through in my life, what is it to be without, and when somebody call you, if you understand that nobody would call you just like that, you should understand that the people would have a genuine need, whatever it is. It could be a small thing like a drain behind the fence or something. It could be a noises next door because of a radio playing or somebody playing music. These are things that really, really affect you. There's a man in diamond that's calling. What's his biggest pet peeve? The trends that is behind him that can be cleaned, because he's thinking, every time rain falls, I'm going to be flooded here. That has comedies, it has a little, those caimans in it, and they're going to come up here. And so he wants it to be clean. It's a big pet peeve that he has. He wants his government to fix. So we have our little different needs that we have. And when they call, I have to understand that, these people need an outlet, and we have to give them an outlet. Wake Up Guyana show is where it's at. So we go back to our lines against 226-7453. Wake Up Guyana, what is it that you want to tell us today? Good afternoon, caller. Yes, good afternoon, caller. I think we missed that caller there. Are you people sleeping or something today? I'm not sure. Let me see. Why is it our people? Please give me an update about the U.S. elections. Let me tell you what the U.S. elections are saying here right now on Kaieteur. In the meantime, before that, do we have a caller in line? Yes. Let's see what the call. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, I'm sorry. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Tell me, what's bothering you?
What's bothering me, I'm not dealing with what's bothering me so much. I'm looking at what we should be doing, in the sense that looking at the floods and the various things that you talked about, housing schemes. First of all, the NDCs have not been ensuring that each of these places that have alleyways that are clean and that people are not occupying it. Some people build a fence over the alleyway. They're not looking at proper drainage also. And my big problem, and I'm hoping that our engineers can become creative enough to start thinking of different ways of building houses. Stop encouraging flat houses, or at least not flat on the ground in these areas, so that you can build differently and build with drainage. Our engineers have to become creative. Too many people are studying and just going according to textbook. You have to become creative in the sense of...
That's correct.
Why I say that, I find it fascinating lately. I've been studying Dubai and the cities that they build, and it boggles my mind to see the engineers that came up with these things. And so it means that our engineers have to come down and sit down and study together and decide this is what we can do. The principles do not change, but you have to become creative in these times of modern times and make our housing schemes modern. What worked in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s is not going to work now. And also, when that happens, the local government authorities, I'm not talking about the government, has to ensure that where there's drainages, it must not be blocked. People mustn't build over it. Where there's supposed to be alleyways, it must be cleared. And these things, unless we do these things, we cannot help this situation. With the rain today was a lot to rain, yes, but if we have these things in order, the impact that the flood brought would have been less, but we're not doing that. So I believe that as a country and as a people, all those students at UG, don't just come out and do the same old thing. Become creative, find ways and how we can modernize even construction, modernize how we build our houses, we build our schools, how we set it up, even the focus structures and the city fence, see ways that we can use many things. I see a country is looking at what we call the same plastic that we have a problem with. They're what do we call it? They're using it and they're building walls out of this plastic, and it's very strong. And so we need to let our people who are technical people start using their brains and become creative. I'll listen to your comments after.
Thank you very much for that. And you know, I like to talk about things like this, especially when it comes to engineering and so on. I did about 100 articles when I was, very prolific back in the 2010. I become, as you get older, you become a little slower. So I stopped writing because there's only so much you could write on a particular industry. You could go back and see it. Housing and you, it was a big thing in the Kaieteur news at that time. A lot of people were calling. I was receiving a lot of emails, and so a very young reporter at that time. But one of the things that really fascinated me with regards to housing was different ways that we could build our houses. We could talk about being energy efficient and so on. Over the last weekend, I went to the showroom. They invited us. I think it's the Vulcan people. They have this big place up the highway by the glass factory where they do a lot of baking of woods and so on. And beautiful woods. They would take woods that is very cheap woods, as we call them, and they would bake them, and they could be used into doing so many beautiful things. And they built a guard hut with about 5 different woods. I went in, I saw a wine rack, and they have a showroom there just opposite. I think it is the GRA license office on Smythe Street there. And if you see how beautiful it is, if you realize that we could do so many things with wood. It opens your mind. What a gentleman is basically saying is that instead of doing one thing the whole way, you go to college or you learn it this way, the textbook way, each situation would call maybe for a different kind of solution. And we have constantly be thinking, how do we solve this using the situation, the material that we have right now, and be able to find a fix that is going to be in favor of everybody. He has a very, very good point there. We have to start thinking out of the box, not only with our drainage system, but on so many other things that we do. Maybe it could be applied in finding solutions. Like I just talked not too long ago about 75,000 face masks. What you have, instead of us importing face masks, you have a ministry that is asking people to please, you get some materials, start sewing them as long as it passes the stage of being very, or it has the standards of being very safe. Those are some of the out-of-the-box kind of thinking that we should be looking at. It isn't that we have to do one thing one way all the time. If you're building a property that it's concrete right all the way, why don't you think of building something that maybe is part wood, part concrete? Why is it that we can't think of building something that is beautiful, maybe of wooden windows? The point is, let's think differently, out of the box. I hear what the caller is saying there, and thank you very much for that, sir. So very quickly, let us see some other. Good afternoon. Please read my thanks. Okay, dear Leonard, on behalf of my family and myself, please accept heartfelt thanks and sincere gratitude for the tablet. Oh, no, man, you shouldn't ask me to do that. That you presented to my grandson at Kaieteur office last Wednesday. Meeting you for the first time, Mr. Gildarie, was extreme pleasure. So too for Mr. Leonard, who was welcoming when I arrived at Kaieteur News. Thank you very much. But it's our job that we do what we have to do. I kind of like to help. And whatever it is, I really bully my friends to see what I could do. Good afternoon, Leonard. Mike James here. The normal thing is pension books are distributed early January every year. Distribution dates are highly publicized by the various forms of media. However, the books have leaves from January to December each year. One leaf for each month, so that any new book cannot be used until 2021, save and except for replacement, all for your information and guidance. Thank you very much, dear. Mr. James is always very respectful and so on and so forth. So good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, is Mr. Gildarie?
It is. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, God, I try to get on to you. How long?
Oh, my apologies.
I'm calling from a cell phone, right?
Yes.
I'm a driver for Office of the President. I would give my name.
Yes.
I want to make a comment very quickly. We went to, Donkey City at the market.
Yes, I know that area, yes.
And it was late because we had a little religious function. My mom and my wife was there, and I didn't see because we were there like 4:30 in the morning, and the road marked the 42 bus park. And there we parked because it was empty at that moment. And then, like about 6 o'clock, these police come and they took us to the Brigdam police station. They said that we park on the 42 bus park.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to the station, Mr. Gildarie, we were charged and sent to court with me, and there were 17 other persons. And when I went to court, Ms. Dari, me and 3 others alone were there.
What did they charge you with?
To park on the 42 bus park.
Why is that a charge and not a ticketing offense? Illegal parking or something?
But Mr. Gildarie, I'm an officer, the president driver, right? I didn't make a fuss. I didn't pay a bribe. Or where we went, there was this officer, Mr. Trott. He was very, very rude. You didn't get a warning. I went to the market with my wife and my mom. That was the first time.
Well, how long ago was this?
This was 3 Saturdays ago.
All right. If I ask you to do something, would you do it? The matter is still before the court. Did you plead guilty or whatever it is?
No, Mr. Gildarie. I'm going tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 5th of November.
So that's the first court appearance that you would be making?
Correct.
Well, as long as the matter goes before the court, you can't do anything. But if you have time this afternoon, I would suggest that you go to the Brigdam police station, ask to meet with the commander, tell him that you spoke to Mr. Gildarie and you would want to bring a case against 17 persons or whoever it is that they held up. 3 persons turned up in court. Could you explain that to me?
Sure, I will.
Tell him that I sent you, that you spoke to me with it, because that is where you start. You know, you got to be very logical with these people. If you bring in 17 people charged that's there, and only 3 people turn up in court, could I make a conclusion that maybe something went wrong there?
Exactly. I'm not paying a bribe. I'm not paying the bribe.
I really appreciate that you brought this matter here. Go see the commander, tell him that you spoke to us here.
Mr. Gildarie, that's something happening every Saturday at that square. The police them are taking bribes, especially that police at Brigdam. He's such a rude man.
I appreciate that very much.
The president driver, and I wouldn't give my name. I drive. Let me not go further.
Plead not guilty. I would suggest that you plead not guilty and explain to the magistrate. Maybe ask her for whether you could make an explanation.
I will.
But I want you to go see the commander and explain the matter to the commander. This afternoon, if you could do that, because if the matter's court cases tomorrow, maybe they could withdraw it or something.
I'm in Barbies at the moment. I'm at the registry in Barbies.
All right. You could maybe... All right. See whatever you could do. If you could get a number for the commander's office.
Mr. Gildarie, I was calling you all the time. I'm off the road to park to give you a blink, not today. 3 days ago, I listened to your program, and I really appreciate it. You look into the matters, not for me alone and others. You're the godsend.
Well, every single day, week, we talk. My biggest problem is with our systems not working. I'm very, very particular with that. I am a systems man. I'm a structures man. I like to see these things working, and when it doesn't work, I ask logically why it does not work, and we want to fix it. And so that is what you need to go after.
I know, but when we went to the market, they were so rude. My wife got scared because how the police parked his bike right in behind the car.
I understand. I understand.
It was late when we went. It was dark. I didn't see the sign on the road. I would break the rules. I don't like to do that.
I'm going to call a commander as soon as I'm finished on here. So see whether he would really take my call.
There's no parking area there. And
no. But if it says it's a no parking area, you don't go there. But what I'm saying, I'm not gonna question whether you were illegal there or not. But I'm questioning that 17 people held up for doing the same thing, and only 3 people went to court. I have an issue with that. All right.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to call the commander immediately after this. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. And I kind of like that because when you see our people are very respectful, he did indicate to us that he is a driver, the officer, the president. He did not pull his ranks like so many other would have done and says, this is what I do and what it is that you're doing. He called. He sought to call here. I like that. I'm going to make it my duty to call the commander for him to explain what really transpired here. But in the meantime, somebody asked me to tell them what is happening with the U.S. elections here, and this is what CNN is reporting. A lot of people wouldn't probably watch CNN because they say it's a little biased in favor or against Trump. But this is what they are reporting, and a number of other news channels are reporting the same thing too. A historic race hangs in balance. Counting is still ongoing in the state that will decide the result. Pennsylvania says it may not finish today. CNN has not projected a winner as 9 states remain too close to call. The key battleground of Pennsylvania warned they may not have the final tally today. President Trump claimed some legitimate tallying effort should stop and he did try to assert victory in the election. Joe Biden urged patience as votes continue to be counted. Let me see what else it say. There was a lot of criticism that Trump would have gone or made some kind of attempt to declare himself winner while the counts are ongoing. I did say that it sounds a little familiar, but at the end of the day, a lot of people, a lot of people who would have written Trump off would realize now that there are many people who believe that his policy or Make America Great Again solid. So let's see. This is going down to the wire, coming down to a few states here. Might not be over as today as we think. Elizabeth Sinnott is on our Facebook page right now. She says that the old age pension books can be uplifted on November the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 20th at the Diamond Grove Market Tarmac. So thank you very much for that, Elizabeth, for giving us up to date there. Do we have another caller online? Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air. We don't happen to have that. Let's see some other questions, comments rather. 2267453. I want you guys to start calling us there. We have a couple of minutes. We want to push in as many calls as possible. Flooding in the Houston housing scheme this morning. Houston housing scheme area. Yes, it's all over as we hear it now. A pleasant good afternoon to you, Leonard. Due to the negligence of the persons responsible for giving the instruction to start the pump at the potential West Bank Dam, namely Ramisar and Amar, the entire potential housing scheme were flooded out. They should have given the instruction to start the pump since yesterday afternoon. Hence, the flooding would have been averted. I'm going to ask this person here to please send some photograph for me. I'm sending photos to Leonard. Please send the photos to Leonard so I could be able to have a look at what is happening there. Many photographs that would have been surfacing over the last couple of hours about this flooding in Georgetown. I see Riaz in the studio. How are you doing, Riaz? Do we have another caller on line there right now? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I think the Ministry of Social Protection should go to the media and print those dates and area where those prisoners as they do long before.
I am going to get right away to the Minister of Human Services as well as to the PS. Very approachable folks. And I'm going to ask them to make sure that they do this.
Because enough body, old people don't have Facebook. And if they put it on the Facebook page, you can't know when they're doing it, because here on the West Coast, they start distributing these books already.
Right.
Right? And enough people won't even know that. And when those books left, you have a hassle to get back those books. You have to go back into the office at the bank or wherever it is to get those books. And then those places are being crowded, because the majority of people who don't get the book, they have to have back there.
Thank you very much for that, sir. I'm going to raise that issue there and see whether we can get some resolution to it.
Yeah, because before then, they normally put it in the papers. It's in front or in front, and you know exactly which date you have to go.
Right. All right. Thank you. I'm going to raise that. Good. Bye. Pension books. Let me send this to the minister. Right. Okay. Do we have anything that WRES, have you noticed about this U.S. election? What is it that you have seen so far?
It is. I've monitored quite a lot. I've been sleeping weak last night.
Yeah, last night was a miserable night until the thunder this morning.
Yeah, even when the rain started, drizzle, then get a little bit louder. At the moment, no. Michigan still plays a big role. Pennsylvania still plays the biggest role over, and let me see, this
how
is
much,
1, 2, 3.
How much states are involved here?
All right, so there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 more areas that need to be counted in Pennsylvania by itself. A total of about 1 million. This is about 1, 2, 3. About 3 hours ago, there was still about 1 million to about 1,000,001 people to be counted in that area. It's still too close to call. We've heard that Pennsylvania could go as far as Friday, and I'm like this. I'm looking at Fox. I'm looking at ABC.
But Fox
I'm looking at. I'm actually.
Fox is in giving Trump really.
I am actually amazed, as in. They have been very, very balanced with the report.
No, right. That everybody's looking at it.
I'm flashing Fox, CNN, ABC, CBS, headline. I've been moving around to see exactly what's happening. But all have been saying that this could go as far as Friday. And this is coming from a lot of the political analysts, the Wolf Blitzes, the Anderson Cooper, the John Kings, they're all saying this. Another thing that it is, I actually closed wake. I heard, the president of the U.S. his 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 o'clock this morning piece.
I'm in the twilight zone right now, so
and then I heard. But the thing is, it's amazing that both candidates have already called victory in themselves. But hey, it's going to be a close race. We've heard of how Michigan was this close. We've heard of how Kentucky was this close. Like there's been some swing states. And they swing in the sense of Joe Biden. So it's a very, very close call. And it looks as though we are heading, the world looks at U.S. politics. A lot of persons, I post a post, someone was ready to argue with me, why is Guyana so concerned? I was like, if not only being a normal citizen, but if you're like myself, I am concerned to be educated so I could share and disseminate information. The person never comment back on my status. But the road to 270, I've seen the analysis of if this goes. I don't want to jump it, but it is close. But if you were looking at the analysis, you will see it shows you how close this is. I don't want to call it and say someone won.
Well, let's see what happens. But it is what is ironic is that in a year with 2020 with a pandemic and a Guyana's elections too, which had its ups and downs.
Yeah, I know. And then we've already heard about court.
Yes,
the president of the U.S. made mention about it already.
I'm thinking, but did I dream this dream last night? Is this deja vu? I'm not sure. So let's see what happens. But we don't have program time, Riaz, and it has been a very engaging time as usual. I think some daylight saving time changed for some people.
Yeah, in the U.S. it's changed altogether.
Right. And some people miss the show by 1 hour, so I'm not sure you have to do something.
Yes, that happens. But what I want to call, and I would like to call on the Minister of Local Government and the Mayor of Georgetown I've heard the Mayor alluded that he's not playing PPP, he's not playing AFC, he's not playing PNC. I like that statement. I would like them to come together to work. And I'll make that as a public statement, especially with discomfort that is happening. But by me saying that, I also like to call on the citizens of Guyana to stop throwing the one sweetie wrap in the drains.
Wait, set a dirty people.
The one only. Stop throwing that one sweetie wrap. One. Old people say one dirtiest bill down. Well, one sweetie wrap could clog drains.
All right, thank you very much, dear WR Riaz. This is the Wake Up Guyana show here. We come down to program time. It's been a pleasure as always. did raise a number of issues which I'm going to be sending to the relevant authorities here. It's been a pleasure. If you've missed the show here, which we've been coming to you on 99.1 Esquibo in Demerara, 99.5 in Berbice. We also coming to you live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. If you've missed the show, you can get us back both on Facebook and YouTube. In the meantime, we're going to be back with you tomorrow, same place, same time. We're going to try to get those guests that we've been promising you. Today was just a bad day. Everybody fell out. Rain. It would have been blackout. It would have been some emergency things happening because of flooding throughout the city. Whatever it is that you're doing, have a pleasant rest of the day. Have a safe day. We see you until then. And much love from myself and the folks down at Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News. To you. Enjoy.
COVID-19 tips sponsored by Dex Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Dex Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Dex Soap for that extra cleanliness. Dex Soap is affordable and available nationwide.
Weak systems of governance and the absence of the rule of law both combine to form the perfect stage for corruption to flourish. As part of our anti-corruption fight at Kaieteur Radio, we invite you to join us every Tuesday evening from 7:30 p.m. as we embark on a most needed quest to remove the tentacles of corruption from our systems. See you then for our latest program called Governance, Corruption and Justice.